We are live on the Virtual Grip Network from a place where the skies are blue and the governor's true for race number 2 of round 3 for the OBRL YesterYear Racing Cup Series. YesterYear, where past meets present. I'm Zach Chapman, a.k.a. Shaggy, along with my partner in crime, John Hine, and we're lucky enough to have the RP to BGN, the absolute best at bringing all the sights and sounds to one and only Ryan Seneca. Last Sunday night, the boys rolled into the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where we would see multiple drivers go all in, not realizing the 59 had a card hidden up his sleeve. Sean revealed that card on his final pit stop, where he told the crew at the last minute, he said, "Go ahead, put right sides only on for this final stop," and it proved to be the difference, as getting 2 tires, he came out just a second off the leaders, was able to take home the checkered flag. But say the Tough Luck Award went to the Black Cat of Daniel Hill. Daniel, after a dominant second half of the season, now finds himself 12 points behind the cut line with only 2 races to go. Will Daniel find his way back inside the playoffs, or will the 2.5-mile Superspeedway cut its teeth and make its mark? Let's find out as we're set to go 100 laps here at the Talladega Superspeedway. But I do want to say, it is with heavy hearts tonight that the OBRL steps foot on the racetrack. Today, we learned of a passing that will forever affect a member of our family here at the OBRL. Christian Lushin lost his younger brother unexpectedly, and we at the OBRL and Virtual Grip Network like to send our condolences along with our prayers to the Lushin family. Christian, we hope that you find some comfort in your time of need, and we can't wait to have that number 3 back out on the racetrack. But for tonight, on lap number 3, we will only have car audio in honor of Christian's brother. John, got anything you want to add to that?
No, just a tough time, and we send our wishes and our heartfelt sympathies out to the Lushin family there, and I'm sure Christian will at some point return to the track, and we look forward to seeing him back on the track again. And tough situation all around there. So, yeah, like I said, just we want to send our thoughts out and our heartfelt condolences. So, yeah, tough deal.
And I know, looking into the Discord today, lots of drivers here tonight sending their prayers as well. And I know Christian, he's got to be on their mind here tonight. And John, we do have to talk about the racing at some point. And really, not that it will affect these guys to the point that they won't be able to race. But with Christian, being on their mind, lots of stuff can happen here. And that is, not the call it that. I don't mean it disrespectful, but the last thing you really need here is another, that distraction, another thing kind of occupying your mind here at Talladega. Stuff happens so quick.
Yeah, the race is, without a doubt, for all those drivers are going to be secondary tonight. But you know what? They've come this far, and there is a job to do tonight. So, once the race gets going, you're going to focus on your task at hand. And there's some drivers that have a lot on the line here tonight, and in really the wildest of wild card races here. So much is out of your control. But what is in your control are, getting on pit road, getting in your pit box, getting off of pit road, not losing time at any one of those 3 things. And then also, recognizing situations. If you see a guy 2 cars up in line, maybe making aggressive moves, if it's early enough in the race, maybe you need to back away from that a little bit so you don't get caught up in something, So, those are the things that you can control. Everything else, Zach, yikes. You're going to put your foot down, close your eyes at sometimes, maybe.
And, we'll go ahead. Ryan normally pulls the points up here, but we'll wait, Ryan, because I see qualifying is pretty much done here. So we'll let the music wrap up here. We'll bring up the starting grid, and we'll have a long pace lap here. We'll brush you up on the points battle here when we're pacing around. But for now, we'll go ahead. We'll bring up that starting grid here. And man, oh man, I said he needed something here. Daniel, he's doing the best he can. Gets P1. He's going to start on the inside of the front row. Jerry Isaacs, top shelf.
Yeah, the next row is going to be Greg McDaniel, and a guy who's won one of the plate races this year. So he's good at these types of races. It's going to be Andrew Koska starting fourth.
Kelvin Mosier lines up on the inside of row 3 to the top shelf. The hammer, Greg Hammond.
Another plate track winner, our Daytona 500 winner. It's going to be Mark Fish. He's going to roll off 7th. Next to him, we're just going to call him Liberace Ogle tonight, but Tom Ogle is going to roll off 8th.
I heard the rumor in the Discord these guys are going to have some fun with names. So that's what Tom's doing here. Is Scott Negus lines up on the inside of row 5 to the top shelf. James Hislop.
Chris Bates is going to roll off number 11, P11, and Bill Martin is going to roll off 12th.
Row 7 to the inside. Gavin Adams to the outside. Michael Dow.
Fred Wolfer the 3rd and Sean Foltz are going to roll off 15th and 16th.
Row 9 going to be Jeff Lyden to the inside and Lloyd Moore to the top shelf.
Next row number 10 is going to be Lucky Leroy Corey, and next to him will be Alan Wanamaker.
Yeah, these guys, they don't want us to look at iRacing here. They want us to have to look over at Ryan's. They're messing with us here.
Well, I'm going by with iRacing just because, these guys want to have fun. We'll have fun with it.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing some good nicknames, actually. So, we're going to have to use Tom Evansy going to line up on the inside of row 11 to the outside. Nicholas Self. Got another good one here, John.
Yeah, Dakota Pischke and Dale, the Content Copeland, is going to start 23rd, 24th.
Patrick Martindale lines up on the inside of Robert Borisco. They're going to take up row 13.
Row 14, Torrance Childs and Victor Lane.
His son, Luke Blackjack Lane, going to line up on the inside of row 15 to the outside. Lon.
Courtney Nelson, Dwayne MacArthur. Whoa, what a powerful roll all the way back. Those guys are going to start 31st, 32nd.
And now back down to the bottom 4. Didn't qualify. Todd Cousins, Roger Hurley, 17 in the final row. Clay Walker, Bert Dodson. And I only stole that from you, John. Or, do go ahead and do the penalties while he's doing that, Brian.
We also got the penalties, though. Bert Dodson in the 58 and Roger Hurley in the 77.
We'll see here. We'll try to take a look. They got a little bit. It's going down the backstretch. Because you see, Sean Foltz, he's yellow. He's already in, John. He doesn't have a care in the world. Whatever happens, happens. I mean, he'd love another one. Momentum's great. But for Kotska through Isaacs, and I would say maybe Isaacs even 22 points down and Hislop maybe. They may not even have to worry about survival. Those two might be at the I got to go get it.
Yeah, this is anybody can win, so it doesn't matter. I don't care. You see two guys back there I talked about starting at 31st, 30, or 31, 32. Doesn't matter where you start here. So everybody that's lined up behind that pace car right now has a legitimate shot to win this race right now.
Well, here we go, John. Almost that time. We're going to roll through 3 and 4.
Dwayne MacArthur is sitting on pit road. Well, that means no draft either when he gets going.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is. And I don't want to bust his bubble here, but we normally don't have an early caution. Blame me for the jinx. If we do, I'm willing to take that. I'm pretty confident we're going to go play for a while here.
And he's a guy that needs points, and he's if I'm not mistaken, right? He's still in this.
I do believe. Yeah, I'm going to have to. I was taking a look over myself here. As the green flag waves, we are underway 100 long laps here at the Talladega Superspeedway. John, we've seen this before from these guys. I expect nothing else. We're going to ride here, I think, for a little bit. I mean, obviously double file, but I don't expect any early heroics here in the first couple stages.
No, not with this crew, but and there's some benefit though. I don't know that I necessarily want to be out front because you're not going to get the gas mileage these other cats will back in the draft. I think I'd be pretty content running 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere right in there. Nice little bubble to have your car pushed and pulled in, not using the gas pedal quite as much.
Yeah, and not to shine the spotlight on him too hard, but Roger Hurley the whole way at the back. I believe he lost the draft already.
Yeah, there was a checkup. There was a checkup at the start there with the guy, the car that was in front of him. And now even his drafting help just went to pit road. I guess has to do a drive-through.
Oh, man, that is a tough deal. I mean, he had
MacArthur, and MacArthur's even further behind him. So those two actually, in all honesty, those two need to link up rapidly.
Yeah, I was going to say that to you, John. I think that's important. And obviously, it's going to rely on the 77 because he's the one who's going to lose the most time doing it early. But I think it's going to be that long-term payoff. You don't want to be caught one by one because, I mean, John, if the leaders, stay single file, even double file, if you're a car all by yourself, I mean, and we're maybe not in this giant pack, you're not assured to even grab onto that draft.
Well,
this car's tricky.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zach, you're going about 4 seconds slower than the field. If you look at their practice times, people were in the 49, low 50s. Qualifying, people were in the high 53s. So a huge difference between having some help and being on an island.
See the top trying to get going. Jerry Isaacs, he's one of those guys. I mean, he's in the cut, not in the new cut line. Lowest man on the board, 8 out of 8. I mean, 22 points down. Isaacs knows he may need a win. And you mentioned, John, that car, second, third line, going to save a little gas. I think Andrew Kotska may be perfectly content being that second car on the outside here. He can save a little bit of gas, but he can still try to move up. And, God forbid anything happened below you. You got a little bit of time to react when you're not stuck in the pack.
Yeah, 100% here. And, and we saw it in the real world race here, too, today. There's a handful of guys that were really content running around, 28th to 30th, back in the pack.
And our producer just said something as my stomach dropped. I am ashamed that John and I, we've been doing this for a while, but I am happy that this is the first time we've had to deal with a loss. We forgot. So you know what? We are going to move this to lap 5 right here as we roll through the front stretch. To the Lushan family, we're sorry for missing lap number 3. We love you, and the prayers are with you. Looks like we did indeed have that lead change there, John. Isaacs got around to the outside, and Kotska once again content, just falling right there in line.
Yeah, but, like you said, nobody's probably in any hurry to try to do any kind of big-time heroics. So they're just being smart up here right now.
Oh, we got to see that 43. That's Kelvin Mosier. He's now the first car on the outside that you can see behind off Jerry Isaacs, that black machine. I think he's getting some help from the Hammer, Greg Hammond. I believe in the 88. Tough for me to tell from far zoomed out. Yeah, it is the Hammer. So right now they need to get that high line going, maybe get a little tighter here if they do want to make it work. You can see the difference, John. I mean, Kotska, he was absolutely glued to that 51, and here we go. We are catching our first lap car. They're going high.
Yeah, this car was involved with a drive-through penalty, so that's going to be Bert Dodson here.
Now Mosier, he's maybe being a friend here to Dotson because this is going to help him. I mean, it's absolutely killing Mosier, as you see. He's lost already 10-plus spots, and he'll continue to fall. But now Burt will have that drafting partner, and if we would get the caution here soon, he would be the lucky dog.
Yeah, and that might be exactly what Mosier's doing here to help him keep on that lucky dog.
Yeah, I have to feel that's exactly what he's doing.
Just abandoned him.
Yeah, he dropped down to the bottom, when they got to the end. But I feel like he beefed him up enough that he should be okay. We'll have to see, though. Trying to see. Man, I'm telling you, with most cars, you're used to, I would say, John, growing up, you're used to about that second range. In these race cars, that isn't comfortable. You really need, I'm telling you, 6 to 7 tenths of a second. Because if that car in front of you is getting the draft like they were, he's gone. He lost the draft again. I mean, yep. We kind of skipped ahead, but Burt Dotson did lose the draft. So Kelvin Mosier, if he did do that to help him, man, oh man, he lost a lot of spots there for nothing. You see Greg Hammer working the outside. That's the 11 of Tom Ogle behind him. Ogle right now inside of the cut, but as will be the broken record a couple times tonight, John. Anything can happen here at Talladega, so he could find himself on the outside looking in real quick.
Yeah, and we're working lap 9 here, and right now the leaders are going through 3 and 4. Just up the road is Dwayne MacArthur, one of the chase guys, about to go a lap down. I'll be surprised here in the next lap they're going to catch him and blow by him. Now what Dwayne's biggest goal here has to be is not to lose this pack.
Yeah, and I think, not that, okay, I think you understand where I'm going with this, John, because I don't think this is disrespectful. Now, not that you encourage a lap car to get racy, but when you see that pink on the rear spoiler, I think these guys have to expect Dwayne to maybe try to pull a little side draft here, keep up a little speed. He can't just get out of the way here, and well, so far he's proven me wrong. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, and he's staying right in that second lane here, and there's a couple of cars on the outside that are going to work up to him. I would stay right in that lane and see if you can't pick those cars up.
And honestly,
I think they're going to split them. They're going to split them. Yep.
I think that's the right move, though, for Dwayne to do. You can get, now you're
he
inside
can
the bubble.
right behind the 18. Well, but he doesn't do it.
Inside that bubble, picks it up. No, he can. Well, he's going to have help now. And personally, I understand where Greg's coming from, John, but I think if he could have our perspective.
Oh, he stayed in there.
I think if he, could look at it from the top, maybe you want to follow Dwayne. Make him be the lead car. Make the guy a lap down, burn up his fuel.
Yeah, but he's a long way from that lead, so he's going to fall. He got kind of put in that sucker hole there in the middle.
That really fell apart there, and now you see the Diet Mountain Dew machine. Bill Martin on the outside. Got some help from, I believe, last week's winner in the 59, Sean Foltz. Right now, content with just hanging out towards the back of the pack in the 59.
Yeah, right now the outside, it looks like you're going to need 6, 7 cars together on the outside to make that outside. I think anything less than that, you're just not going to get enough energy to drive up. But that means, and it's going to be incremental. So guys that are going to work that outside line, you got to get a group of you together, and then they've all got to be patient to make it work.
Yeah, sometimes I just don't have what it takes to run these real long distance races, John. So this week, shamefully admit that I've been doing a lot of truck racing. It's the shortest one here at Talladega. But I can confirm what John said. We were around 4 guys. You roped together 4 guys right against that outside wall, John. And if you're locked in, I don't think there's a quicker way around here. And I'm wondering, we can't be the only ones who know that. Do you think some of them are just kind of, maybe pulling a Sean Foltz, keeping that card up their sleeve for a little bit?
Well, now they're going to have 3 or 4 of them here together, and once they lock up, they won't fall back as quick, but they do need another car. They need to stay in line and not just bail on it, So I see another group 3 or 4, a few cars up, trying to get organized there, but yeah, looks like for right now, Everybody's just content with what they've got.
And you got to wonder, you said that next group trying to get organized. Well, it's the general, Dwayne MacArthur. And you got to wonder, here we come. Roger Hurley, he's getting lapped as we speak. He's going to run the bottom of the race.
Didn't take long.
You got to think that maybe Dwayne, he's realized that, hey, we're coming up on a lap car. I need to find a way to get myself in a fast line here and get myself in that lucky dog spot, because that's going to be his battle right now, John. And
yeah, there's another lap car coming.
Did an amazing job merging. Hurley barely lost any spots. That was a picture perfect what you need to do.
Because he stayed on the bottom. MacArthur went to the top, and those guys are passing him below him, which means they get to keep their speed up. Hurley stayed on the bottom, the shorter way around the track. So, yeah, there's a much less penalty to be served by letting those guys go around you.
Got to flick another one down here. Was that Clay Walker? I believe it was Clay Walker now going a lap down. They're about to be 3 wide here, John. Plenty of room.
Yeah, Clay Walker and Roger Hurley actually started on the grid with the other drivers, and they lost the draft. They were probably out of the draft by the time they got on the backstretch for the first time. So this is how quick it happens. It was 15 laps ago, and they're a lap down now.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, those are 15 of the most miserable laps. You could imagine here when
lonely laps.
Good to see, too.
We got another one coming, too.
We saw it there in the screen there as we rotated. Haven't seen Larry Corey in a race in a while. Good to see that DW looking paint scheme back out here, and he is slowly marching it towards the front here. That Western Auto 17. That's a staple of my childhood, John. So now you see Gavin Adams trying to mount it up back on the outside here. He's got, I believe, Hislop behind him in the 92. And Tom Ogle, that's too good. You're going to be getting pushed by 2 guys. I couldn't recommend a better 2 here. We'll have to see if they can get it to work, though. Right now, not really getting it to slide in. And
there's a good line of cars on that outside. If they stick together and nobody starts bailing on it, it'll take probably 5, 6, 7 laps, but they will start to creep towards the front. That many cars, they will definitely start to creep towards the front.
That was Lon Corey that we saw in that Coca-Cola machine going a lap down on the high side. He's looking like he's going to be able to latch in. Right now, got a pretty common top 4. We've seen this. They got pink spoilers for a reason. But it's good to see, there's always that one guy who is just, what do they call them? Those restrictor plate, the ringers, John. Ryan knew where I was going. It's right there. Mark Fish, he's in the top 5 on a plate track once again.
Yeah, some guys just have a knack for this kind of racing, and those guys, they are hard to beat on these tracks. It's kind of like almost, we see road course ringers. They show up and they make everybody else look kind of silly. Mark does a really nice job here on these super speedways.
Scott Eaton's too, right behind us, kind of creeped his way up in that 94 machine. He started 9th, so not much creep. You see who we're looking at there, the 74 machine of Alan Wanamaker, I believe. When did he go all black on us? Has that thing been all black for a while? Alan throwing me off here with a late season paint change. That's 74. Ooh, Tom Ogle. Wow, he may have got a little shot there. Couldn't tell, but they were a little squirrely on that outside line. But you mentioned, John, you had said about 2 or 3 more laps. Well, here come the horses on the high side. They're starting to gallop.
Yeah, and that's because they all committed to being up there. Nobody is peeled off, and you get an opening on the bottom lane and jumping down there. And which is easy to do because, you know, if you've already made up 5, 6, 7 spots, it's really easy to think, oh, there's an opportunity to get down. All right, you know, I made up some spots here. But man, if you ride it out, the top line's working. And now they're going to have yet another car up here a lap down, and be interested to see what lane he chooses as the field approaches him. Looks like he's going up high.
Be the nice guy, get up high out of the way so far. I could change here.
A couple of cars, actually.
Yeah, and really surprised, you know, obviously you're trying to run your own race, but seeing those two cars kind of close together there, John, I'm surprised they didn't try to link up there. As you can see a little bit the roof of the other one. But here he goes up out of the way, and we're going to see some 3 wide here because Gavin Adams is on the outside of little Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to watch that outside line. Just keeps picking them off slowly but surely. Oh, I'm seeing guys bail out of that line. That's going to break up that line and stall it. It was the number 2 that jumped out of that line and got down. So, yeah, and you can kind of see it. It really did stall that line out.
Yeah, now Dwayne MacArthur, he's another one. He went back down to the bottom. So we're hearing, hopefully, I'm going to check the iRacing side, but we're hearing, you know, sometimes, as John and I mentioned, you can have trouble in the iRacing world, and right now, Daniel Hill may be suffering some connection issues, and I'm looking at the quality here, Ryan. I can't confirm. That thing was in the red, now it's in the orange. Hopefully, Daniel's internet provider gets their stuff together. He's racecraft championship. Slowly making its way back to 100. It's at 94 now, so. Man, oh man. You know, I'm going to give my producer credit because he is exactly right. Daniel running 3rd right now. That is the last place you want a car blinking. I mean, at Talladega, all of a sudden, you know, 3rd and 4th, John, get into a wreck. That all of a sudden, you're going to have 20 more cars in that wreck.
Yeah, and those kind of problems, too, always seem to happen when you're running good. They never happen when you're kind of sucking for the night and all the way in the back. Always happens when you feel like you got something, a good piece to maybe win a race with.
Yeah, no kidding. I never disconnect whenever I have damage. I'm 3 seconds off the pace. Never happens. Tom, he got a shot there from the 78, I believe, of Nelson.
Yeah, nobody went with the 2 of those guys, and now, oh, I see Hill blinking bad again.
Hearing, yeah, Daniel blinking a little bit once again, and they're leaving a gap on purpose here, I think.
I think he's gone now.
Now he just appeared on the outside. He got out of the way. I think the guys probably said, hey, Daniel, you're blinking. And he probably just got the heck out of the way. Man, that's going to be a sigh of relief for Greg McDaniel, to say the least, I think. Now, it has settled back down. We'll try to keep you updated with that. But
that outside line is just completely dissipated. They're down to about 6 cars, 7 cars. Like I said, it takes a lot of patience, but you need 8 or 9 guys to hop up there, and you can make it work. But they do not have that, and there's too big of a gap between you got Ogle and Nelson, and then there's a gap, and that gap is just killing that line.
Ding, ding, ding. That's what I was going to say, John. I mean, it's real easy, to put the blame on the 93. So, I mean, I'll do it. But the 3rd car in drafting, especially here to Superspeedway, John, correct me if I'm wrong, they are just as important, as that 78. Yeah. They've got to work in tandem together.
Yeah, they do, but it's just not the 93 that's got a big gap. I'm looking here at the 73. There's a big gap between, for him. Those guys just got to stay nose to tail. If you don't do that, you don't have a shot.
Going
3 wide like Copeland, that doesn't help either.
No, but Dwayne MacArthur and his lot, they pulled up to the outside here. You know, now we've got some more horses here. Can we get the train rolling? I mean, Dwayne, we talked about it before. You now see there are 2 cars ahead of him on the bottom. I believe that third car is the 77 of Roger Hurley. If not, he's up there a little bit. But that's going to be the battle. Or it's about 5 cars, actually, now that I look overhead. I confused him with the wrong red car. But he knows he's got to get to that 77. I mean, John, we're not too aggressive yet, but we've seen guys sliding around. I mean, doing that at 190 mile an hour, we could have a caution any minute.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, too. The way this is going, we're going to end up with green flag pit stops, and that's going to really be very interesting for this field to kind of navigate through. I'll be interested to see how much it breaks the field up.
And, you know, it's interesting you say, John, break the field up because, you know, in my Talladega racing this week, I'm always trying to find advantages. And me personally, I don't like a busy pit road. How important is it, do you think, you know, maybe branch off in your group of 5, 6, maybe 7 drivers and, you know, kind of do your own thing here?
Well, the only real advantage of that is if you're working together, you can line up nose to tail to get back up to speed on the track. But there's 2 points where doing something like that is very beneficial. Getting on the pit road, you don't want to be getting on the pit road 15 deep, 16 deep, because I can promise you somebody's going to run over somebody at that point. You know, then getting back out on the track, if there's only 2 or 3 of you, you can get nose to tail. But if there is a bigger group out there, you're going to lose ground rapidly.
Yeah, and, you know, I mean, if any of the drivers are smart enough to be listening to us right now, John, you better reach over and click off those tires. Tell that spotter or that crew chief, yes, you don't need any tires here, because if you come in and you get 4 tires, you might as well stick the knife in yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll need the 4 tires on the next stop after this, and then you're good to the end, but you will have to change them once. But if you're whenever you change them, you just want to make sure everybody around you is also on that same strategy. If you come in, you're the low guy on the jack stand, oh boy, you're in a whole world of trouble.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, you know, that is a thought for some people, if they feel
Something happened to MacArthur.
Yeah, it did. He blew up. He was following too close. He blew up. I'm willing to call it. Yep.
Oh, wow. Overheated the car.
Yeah, he blew up. I guarantee it. Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah, well, he's going to need a grandfather clock next week if he wants to continue, I think, John.
Yeah, but here's the question. Where can he go to exit the vehicle and not bring out a caution? I think he probably has to get down on the grass, but he's going back to the apron. I almost think, but I'm wondering if the caution, I guess I won't bring a caution maybe, but I would think if he comes to a stop there on that apron, it would bring a caution, but we'll see. Because he's not making it to the pits. He's losing ground too, so, oh man, tough break.
Well, now, you know, I mean, John and I hadn't really touched on it, but that's always the thing here when you're restrictor plate racing. You're going to stay sucked up to that guy in front of you for too long. You're going to start to see that red light flash, John.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an awful, awful feeling.
Let's see there. I wonder, Ryan, stay here for like 10 more seconds. Do those numbers actually change? I don't think iRacing will give us their real water.
No, not inside the car. They won't.
Okay. I'm here. Well, I know they do for our cars, but I don't think when you spec.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see them glow. If you're watching it, you're not going to see the temperatures and everything else change. That's the same thing. You don't see their throttle tracing either.
Yeah, let's do a test. Go to Tom Ogle. Is his temperature 220? Yeah, okay, so it's going to tell us they're all 220. Yep. There's no way they have the same temp. Yep, so it's got to be that way. But I think, John, you know, you mentioned green flag pit stops coming up. I think this the group of drivers kind of agree with you. I mean, Tom Ogle, he is a ways back. That is the first side-by-side battle. Everyone else, single file the whole way around this place. I mean, it looks like a long snake.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, watching what happened with MacArthur, every driver now has to have that in the back of their head. So when you're falling up under somebody's spoiler, yeah, you go a lot faster, but you got to keep your eye on your taps and then kind of have to peek out from the corners of the car in front of you to get air into that car. You don't do that, you too are going to blow your motor. So those guys really have to pay attention to that. I haven't seen that in a while too, so I'm kind of wondering, well, I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm wondering if that's something since the new update that is more sensitive now. I do remember a few seasons back, you really couldn't stay up behind anybody. I don't know if it was in the trucks or if the Xfinity or the Cup, but if you were behind somebody like 5-6 laps, your engine got hot. I mean, everything started flashing, the whole 9 yards.
That is going to be tough, and needless to say, that point standings will shake up. And I mean, not that Jerry Isaacs would need those point standings to shake up if he could lock himself in with a win, but the man out front is down below that cut line, 22 points. And I know, John, we're on lap 33. You can't crown the winner, not even close, but man, he's doing what he needs to do.
You can't crown the winner even on the last lap. Not at this
point. Hey, man, I don't, that's another thing, too. Well, let's talk about it for a little bit. I don't know if I have called a league race here. Now, I could be wrong. It could just be memory or, the recency bias. But I don't know if I've ever seen a guy on iRacing lead the white flag lap here at Talladega and come home the winner. That is not you don't see it happen very often on the virtual side.
No, you don't. You guys get racy and things happen more times than not. So, but here's the other thing too. Pit stops, not too distant future. They're all in a team channel down there, so they're all gonna. It's really important for you to call if you're going to pit road. And what's even more important, if somebody's calling that they're going to pit road, you better know where they're at on the track. So if that guy 2 cars up saying I'm coming to pit road, and you think he's behind you, that's a good way to run over somebody.
And I don't think it will be an issue here, but you go to some places and you maybe get that guy that's nervous. John, under no circumstances should a driver today be lifting off of that throttle at all above that yellow line. And,
No.
I'm hoping we don't see it. But every now and then you'll see a guy get nervous, lift coming out of turn 4. And, man, if you do that, you are going to stack up the entire field.
Yeah, you're not going to stack them up. You're going to get run over and cause a caution. These guys are, hundreds and thousands of a second behind each other. That's not a whole lot of time to react to somebody all of a sudden decides to put the brake on.
I would think here too, John, if we have anybody quote unquote short pitting, it would be that 51, but it'll be because he's led
I wouldn't
most
short
of
pit
this
here.
Race. Well, no, I just mean I think he's probably
yes.
got about a lap and a half left of fuel. So really, if you're that 51, I mean, you got to hope Kotsuke's been pushing you the whole race. I mean, you got to hope that they're kind of glued together, maybe going to work together the rest of the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you go down the pit road, you want to look in your mirror and see 3 or 4 guys minimum come in with you. If you look up in that mirror and there's nobody there, that's when your stomach just sinks, and you just at that point, you're praying for some help, praying for something really to fall your way.
On to lap 37, I would think that
they're in their window.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because it's going to be a 2-stopper here anyway,
Yep.
But in theory, I guess you do want to almost go until it's empty to make your final pit stop as short as you can.
Keep you for a green-white checker, because right now if you pit and you split it up, you can run the 71, 72, and that gets you theoretically to 105. But if there is a couple of green-white checkers, that could be an issue. But yeah, that pit window's open now.
Yeah, especially if You know, not to put it on Isaacs here, but if you keep leading the whole way,
you know it's coming too, because they've all got in the line here. Everybody's in line.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tom Ogle and the gang that were trying to rally the high side, even they've given up here.
Yep, I watch people back up and get in line, and that is now here's going to be the question: are they all going to come together? If they do, that's going to be utter chaos. I can't imagine that they will, but we'll see.
Yeah, I would not want to be that last car because, I mean, you kind of mentioned the chaos, people getting run over. That is my biggest fear when I come here. I do not like pit with more than 7 or 8 cars. It is, if you get one guy who maybe is afraid to send it in a little deep and he's leading the pack, I mean, that could be really bad. And seeing,
we got guys coming. We got a bunch of them. Holy cow, a bunch of them are coming.
Seems like they all did pretty good. Gavin Adams, he's the guy who I am. He motored it around the outside. He got 3 guys coming into the pit road, even screeched them, locked them up coming in, absolutely get every ounce out of that 30 machine.
And I don't see any black flags, so everybody got in without speeding.
So they're going to get right sides here, and that's I forgot to say that to you, John. I feel like that's maybe the move. Oh no, oh wow. What am I? 4-tire pit stop?
It could be a, you know. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they forgot to hit off of there, but holy cow, Dan Hill is coming in now with a big steam. I think, oh, we got one around. Todd Cousins.
Todd Cousins on the inside wall. He's going backwards. Gonna have to roll her around here. That is one of those big packs, John. That's what happens. I mean, look at all those cars. That is what happens.
Well, green flag pit stops on here Daytona. Your more aggressive drivers are the ones that run into problems here because they try to get probably a little too much, and that happens.
Tough break there. You see, he'll lose the draft. And
yep.
McDaniel. So you can tell Greg McDaniel, he coming out early. He just got 2 tires. He'll come out that little bit. I mean, that's about a 1.5 seconds. Never mind. I'm hearing the same pit time. Here comes
Gavin Adams is out really fast, but boy, those leaders, Koska and Isaacs and all those guys that stopped just motored around that first group.
Yeah, and you notice who's at the tail end of that first group, John. Roger Hurley. He is itching to get back on that lead lap. He is doing everything he needs to do. And now Scott Negus, and you're defending Daytona 500 champion. Mark Fish, I mean, you talk about 2 guys who, I'm telling you, I know Mark won Daytona, John, but if you go look at that betting sheet, I'm telling you, he wasn't in the top 5, and neither was Negus. To see those guys up at the front here at, you know, I mean, I don't want to say it here, but we got a pretty good chance when the field strings out like this. We could stay green flag the rest of the way.
Absolutely. And now, and more important than ever, too, guys are going to have to be patient and just keep their butt in line. If they don't do that, if you start racing guys, you've got 4 or 5 cars together and you don't stay in line, you're never going to catch up.
And Ryan caught that. Daniel Hill, I just saw him blinking, so he's going to swerve up out of the way, get to the tail end of this thing, because he knows exactly what you just said, John. If he is blinking there, he's going to be slowing up that line, and they got to go. So right now, he's just got to bite the bullet and hang out at the back of whatever pack he's in, even if that's the next one here that's coming pretty quick. That's Kelvin Mosier leading that second pack. It looked like they thought about a jump to the high side. Kelvin wisely kept it in line here. You guys, I know it is tempting here, John, but they, under no circumstances, can start racing each other here if they want to catch you.
You got it, and you got to stay tucked under that back bumper and watch your temperatures.
You know that like I say, everybody out there watching, it's easy to think it too. It's so much easier to preach that sitting up here. And when you're in that race car and you see your momentum starting to die off, John, you just want to get to the outside. You don't want to slow down. But, in all reality, you start side drafting off each other. I mean, it may feel faster, but you're slowing both of you down.
Yeah, and if you kind of feel like you're not, headway, maybe you got into an incident or maybe you bumped into somebody back there, and you're just giving up a little bit of aero and it's slowing everybody down. If you can, you hop up, let them get by you, tuck in, you're going to go faster. And making those decisions behind the wheel, because no driver likes to just give up a spot. I've been in these things where I've been behind somebody and, it's not like they're just slow, but they're incredibly slow. Even though we're still in line, I'm watching the other group drive away, and that's when it leads you to no choice but to hop out and try to get around them, because if you don't, you're never going to catch them.
As we're riding off the front here, Greg McDaniel, as I'm looking at the timing sheet now, I'll try to remember we'll just call it 5.5. It's 5.48 behind Negus, and well, now it actually is at 5. So right now, John, the front 5 or 6 guys here, they're doing a better job of staying in line.
Yeah, and Victor Lane, if he could get in there behind Adams, it'd be a big help to these guys. But the line behind him, behind that group, is quite a ways back, and it's a much bigger line. So the more you have, the faster you're going to go. So if those guys can stay patient, they will catch them.
Yeah, and it really is kind of crazy, the diversity there in that first group. I mean, 4 cars on the lead lap. The back 3 are a lap down. So Hurley, Adams, and the boss man there, Victor Lane, they are racing each other. Those are going to be battles for position. But right now, they've got one end goal. Just try to keep this thing green.
Yeah, and like I said, and I haven't really looked at the stopwatch, but they do look like they're incrementally closing in there. But Greg McDaniel, he's got to be looking out that window and knowing, okay, these guys are all in line. If he thinks they're getting away from him, watch that relative. Get somebody else up there that can pull these guys. I mean, it's like I said, a really tough decision, and one I don't think is necessary right now. I think they are closing, but it's something you got to look at.
I don't want to burst the bubble here, John. Yeah, it's almost grown a second. It's at 6.35 now. It is getting really big here, and I think you mentioned you don't ever want to do that, but I am the first person to say, I think I've said it here before. I mean, obviously, I'm going to go for the lead on the last lap, but I am too sketchy on that wheel. I need to stare at a bumper, something to focus on. I consider myself an A+ pusher, maybe a C- car out front, and I think, Greg McDaniel, he's going to have to bite that bullet now sooner than later.
Yeah, well, these guys behind them need to recognize it too, and someone needs to make a decision there to maybe try to work their way around to close it. And we got Hills blinking again. I think sadly, Hill is the fastest one out of that bunch, but his motor problems are really what's keeping him back.
We're going to hope it's just weather issues, because we're not even halfway, so hopefully that kind of calms down, as I'm actually locked on his car right now, and he's still been gone for quite some time. Me bringing it up just jinxed him. Nope, he just literally reappeared. He was gone for a long time.
I'll bet you he surprised the 43 when he came back too, because he was right on his nose.
Now leaders coming up, they're going to be roping down another one here, and that's going to be another one to add to that line. If he can just get down to the inside, we'll have to see Cousins. I mean, he's got a lot of front end damage, so he wants to get in line. He's already bailed. Yep. He's not going to be able to do it, I think. I think he needed to go down and already pull some side draft, because that front end damage, I don't think he's going to be able to stay in line. Well, they may be able to stay in line if Victor pulls to the outside here. That's going to widen that air a little bit, Victor.
Yeah, it's going to slow him down.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand maybe wanting to get by Roger Hurley here. Maybe that's, the argument. But, and you got a lot more cars a lap down there, boss man. I don't think you want to let them rope themselves into the equation. And like I said, running side by side there, I think you roped one more into the equation.
Yeah, if that other group catches them, yeah, there's a good chance they get shuffled out, and then they won't know who's who basically, or where to go. You're just gonna go where circumstances dictate.
Now, do you think, John, as we were looking at the leaders, sorry to make you jump around, Ryan, but you see Kotska out front this time. Do you think that's maybe by design? I mean, Kotska was pushing Isaacs the first go around. Are they maybe both going to work together here, you think? You kind of get that feel?
Yeah, it also could be easier on the motor, not only just the fuel mileage, but from the motor side of things. But, if Kotska got his engine hot, then he'd probably, switch it around and keep it cool. Get out front there, get some air to it. But hey, by the way, Cousins roped back in on that lead graft.
Yeah, and he can thank Victor. I'm telling you that pulling out to the side.
Yeah,
when I'm running those official races, I know those little tricks. I'll rope in my friends if I want to, or somebody who's helped me. And I don't know if Victor meant to do it or not, but he definitely added another lap.
Yeah, that's the guy you're right, and that's the guy you're racing for a spot. So.
Now you see 8 cars there in the lead pack.
As I say, he might come to regret it.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, great. I'm all about friendships out there. Maybe that's what that was. But, man, if I'm racing for position, I don't know if I do that move. The boss man playing nice here. And now we're looking back at Greg McDaniel. What is that gap? It's 2.5 seconds from what I said earlier. It is 7.5 now. So they aren't sinking yet, John, but the boat's filling with water.
Yeah, well, if you look at the lead group, they're nose to tail. I mean, there's not really any big gaps. You go back to that next group, there's lots of gaps in there. They just got to get better organized, and I don't know if it's people having to lift, because guys in front of them are a little bit slower, but they need to get somebody in the front of that pack that can pull.
Yeah, and I think they heard the memo here, or they got the memo. Grandpa going to look to the outside, Dakota Pishka. He's got his slot behind him, and here comes Tom Ogle. I mean, they're seeing this gap get bigger and bigger. You don't want them to race here in the second pack, but right now, those guys on the outside, you're forcing them. They don't have a choice.
No, and if I was good, Grisco's going with them here. Being in a smaller pack, you only need probably about 4 or 5 guys instead of 9 or 10 when you got the big pack together. If they keep these 4 and they can keep them organized here, they'll push to the front. But now if they do that, Pishka's got to make sure he stays on the outside, so all that line all clears them. Now they're up to 5 cars with Copeland, 6 cars with that outside line's gonna move now.
Yeah, and I think, like you say, it's no disrespect there to those front 2 cars, but I think the other guys may be feeling the same way here. We got to get
those are really fast guys too. I won't be surprised if Fultz doesn't jump out and get up behind the 78.
Yeah, I think, well, you mentioned earlier that fast car, but with all the blinking trouble, I guarantee you that 7, he wants to get up there so bad. Yeah. But he just can't trust it. He can't trust it right now. I mean, even there, he's kind of fanning to the outside. He is, he wants to do it. He's going up in the middle, trying to pull that outside up a little bit there. But right now, I mean, as we've talked about, you see that 4 of Pishka, there's a big gap behind him. I mean, those 2 cars right now just not lined up. And you see as soon as Hislop gets there, that outside starts to make ground.
Yep.
But Hislop's got to stay there. He's got to stay.
Yeah, and at the back of that line where Hammond's falling off the back of the 78. He'll get up to the 78 and then back away. That's just a sign, too, of they're either braking too much or, they're not trail braking or they're lifting. There's tricks you can do to stay on somebody's bumper, but if you full on lift or tap the brakes, that's where those gaps come from. There is a art to staying locked onto somebody's bumper, and it's not easy to do.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be in that. And obviously, you know, I don't blame guys for doing it. I do it too when I'm towards the back. But like John was trying to explain, you can't be in that lift and coast mode. You can't just, you know, lift if you want to stay tight. You've got to be trail braking. You got to keep the throttle pinned at all times here if you want to be effective. And, you know, just drag the brakes a little bit if you got to check up. And now Dakota's going to go to the bottom here. That's what we said not to do, John.
Yeah, he got greedy and got up to the front there and thinks he's made up those spots. I said that earlier. And that's going to kill that outside line for a few laps. Now, if these other guys stay, Ogle's got a rocket ship under him. And you got the 78 there, and boy, I still think that outside line, once those guys get nose to tail, they'll still clear them eventually.
Well, you know, I'd mentioned, I think we said the gap was at 7.5 seconds. Now, you know, I don't want to jump it. It is down to 7.2, John, and they did that on the high side. So if those two work together here, McDaniel can be that good third car in line. I mean, we may see a big pack here, maybe the next time we roll in for green flag pit stops.
Yeah, but they've got to stay locked on each other there. You know, they did a good job, and they started actually making ground up on the outside line. But now, now they're locked, and they're going to make some ground, hopefully. That outside line is going to be in trouble, too.
Yeah, no, you know, not that you want to do this either if you're Tom, John. You know, it's not fun. But if you start to see now, okay, hey, we're now 6.6 seconds off the front pack. We made up a second on the leaders this lap. I repeat, 1 second. Maybe I fall in line here. But no, they're going to go 3 wide. I was way wrong, John.
Yeah, Grisco looked like he jumped up out of line there, probably intentionally, but and Ogle's going to dive down, and so now that outside line completely falling apart, but now the inside's just got to stay locked. They don't do that. It's going to be it'll be a long time before they get up there.
Yeah, you know, I'm impressed though with how much time they made up. Now it's kind of stalled.
Well, like I said, you gotta get a good car that can pull out front.
It is. I mean, Dakota, you're watching it right now. I mean, John, that thing, you see other cars kind of bouncing around, and I am one of those cars bouncing around. But that lead car, I mean, he's literally, it's a train on rails. Everything's moving but him. I mean, there was the first bobble. He barely goes off the bottom.
Yeah, and sometimes if I can communicate with the driver behind me, I actually get off the bottom, maybe like a half a car length, just so that guy behind me can get on the bottom and get air to his nose. I'll leave it open, you know, but I only do that with people that I know and know that they're not going to try to fill that hole and know what I'm trying to do for them.
Not, you know, you guys can see it at the top of your screen there, but Mishka 6.3. That's all for your leader. He's now 6 seconds behind Negus, though, the man in 4th place. And John, you know, I mean, if you're that 4, obviously right now as we enter the corner, you can't really see him. But when we go on the straightaways and you see that car in front get bigger and bigger each lap, I mean, that just does something for the confidence.
Well, it does, and it also, everybody behind him, they're watching their relatives, so now everybody behind him knows that they're closing, so that sense of urgency to pull out is going to be less and less for guys. You know, occasionally you'll get somebody that's going to give it a shot, and it's to their own detriment at this point. If everybody stays in line, yeah, they're going to catch them. It might take probably about 10 laps here. Ironically, about 10, 12 laps is when the pit window is going to reopen, you know, so we'll have to see. I think you definitely want to get there before the pit stops happen.
Now, John, obviously, you know, I mean, he didn't doom himself in all reality, but I'm just a talking point here. If you're in this second group, and you saw Greg McDaniel, you know, maybe struggle a little bit as that lead car, you know, you started to fall back. that maybe affect you willing to push him later? Are guys that observant out here at this stage?
Oh, absolutely. Not only, okay, you're not pushing. And the thing is, and Greg, I mean, let's be honest here. Getting around Talladega, you put your foot down, you turn the wheel, barely. There's not a whole lot of skill to drive just a lap around Daytona or around Talladega. But if you bump drafted maybe a little bit hard and crinkled the nose just a little bit, or, something, drag the splitter at an awkward angle or something with the car that you can mess with the aero, it's just the littlest thing can slow you up, and that could be all. I mean, Dan McDaniel could have just, hit somebody wrong, pushed them, and that's why he's not going anywhere.
So
but yes,
Yeah, and I'm kind of figuring out now, obviously, the 92. I had to watch it here for a little bit. So they reeled him back in again this lap. You can see Johnny kind of spaces out. He dips off to the right. He really dips off to the right. He's trying to get some air in that thing. They'll go pretty hard for about 2 laps, and then he's got to take it easy for a lap. But I think that's the strategy here.
Well, like I said, usually if I've got people around that actually know me and know what I'm doing, I fade up a half a car length just so that guy behind me can get air. They're not going to try to stick their nose in there. And if you can have a working relationship like that, holy cow, you can stay glued and make up a lot of time rapidly.
Yeah, and Ryan clicked over at the perfect time there. You can see your leaders. Isaac's absolutely glued to Kotska, and I only bring that up because, this lap, they've kind of opened up that gap a little bit. It wasn't a lot. It was only about a 10th or so, but you got to wonder if maybe John, they don't want to do it, but hey, reality's setting in. We got to start racing hard up here and pushing, or they're going to catch us.
Yeah, we spent so much time here the last few laps talking about the guys watching their relatives in that second group. At that first group, they know if they start getting caught, and that should be a sense of urgency for them to get back in line and try to gap them again. They've lost the car from that top draft, I think, so they're going to lose. Yeah, they're going to lose, a little bit of that forward push, because there's one car less in that draft now.
Well, the boss man, Victor Lane, he played a crucial role in keeping up Cousins there, and now he loses the front draft. Got to catch up to these guys pretty quick here, and I would think we'll have to see, does the boss man play nice here? If he stays on the bottom, it'll kind of nullify that slingshot a little bit, but they can time this right, get some draft with that can, and maybe shoot underneath here. That's going to help these guys pick up, I'd say, about a 10th or 2 at least.
Yeah, but they're going to have to close their gaps. The back of that second line, there's big gaps at the back of that. They just got to get tighter, or they're not going to get there. Like I said, their goal should be trying to get to that other pack before they pit. But I'm starting to doubt that can happen, though.
Yeah, me too. It's really stalled out now, and it's almost growing back to about 6 seconds. And I think a lot of that has to do with the 92. He's kind of laying back a little bit. Not too sure what that temperature bar looks like. I mean, he was aggressive there. He's the reason Dakota got to the lead of the second pack. So maybe in self-preservation mode, and this is where maybe it's time Tom Ogle and maybe Mr. Daniel Hill to rally the troops, get on the outside here, try to lead this train.
They pass the boss man there, Victor Lane. See if Victor can attach himself to the back of this other one. But yeah, I'm still looking at this whole train here, that second one. Too many gaps, especially towards the back.
We're coming to lap 66 right now, so we have 35 laps to go. We're not going to see anybody short pit, I wouldn't think. But if they wanted to, I would think they're good here without the green-white checkered. So you're going to want to go a couple more laps to just lock yourself in, but we are getting to that point, John.
Yeah, I'd probably push it to lap 70, 71, and then I'd probably feel pretty comfortable from there.
They are doing the John method. They were about half a lane up. And then you look at these guys, more so glued to the bottom. And when you're glued to the bottom, yeah, obviously it's a little shorter way around. But, John, you're demanding that perfection. It's really bumpy down there next to that yellow line. I know we can't necessarily highlight it as much as we'd like to. But you get down near that yellow line, I mean, you get a handful.
Yeah, I can upset the car a little bit, but boy, it's got to be so frustrating for some of these guys in that second line. They're playing by the rules, staying in line, and they're just not making up the ground on that lead pack that they need to be.
See, too, I believe the guys in Group 1, I'm going to double check over. Yeah, they came in the lap before. So it'll be interesting to see. They came in lap 38. The boys in the second pack, lap 39, as Ryan brings that up on the screen. So we'll have to see here. If they stay true, fit in those one-lap gaps here, or maybe this. I know they want to work together, John, but the second pack, that was some chaos the last time they come down pit road. Did they maybe do it in two smaller groups here?
You know what? I don't know. That's a good question. You know, you don't want to be, if you see a bunch of cars in front of you going to pit road, you kind of got to follow because you don't want to be driving by pit road watching everybody, then look up in your mirror and realize you're the only one on the track.
It is really
so you have that fear too.
It's unbelievable too what that 92's doing, because this is one of those all-out push laps where he's not worried about the temperature. They've got the gap now cut down to your leader, Andrew Kotska, to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is an all-out go lap for those guys as they are continuing to reel them in. I mean, since I started talking, John, they picked up 2 tenths.
Yeah, the tighter you get, the faster you go. But on the other side, you know, you saw what happened with MacArthur. That can come at a cost if you're not careful.
Right now, we get to the range where I maybe got caught off, John. I'm not used to NASCAR doing so fast the pit stops. I forgot there, whenever you fill this thing full of fuel, you might as well get the 4. But now here to bring it home, I don't know if you're going to need the full load of fuel. So would you think?
Oh, leaders are pitting. Leaders are pitting. Oh, we got one around. Oh, no, not one around. A lot of smoke. A lot of guys locked them up. So you know what? If they didn't plan on getting tires, they might want to think about it if they locked up and did a long slide.
And I think Scott Negus was that man you saw. I believe it was that red machine locking them up there. You see 3 cars from the group behind came down pit road. Daniel Hill.
Todd Cousins came down with him, but I'm not sure he even went into a pit stall. I think Cousins might have missed his pit stall.
You see Daniel Hill, he's dropped the jack blinks. He's going to get out there with Negus. Negus came in with Group 1, so he slowed down a little bit. Trying to look over at
the second group. Second group's coming in. Okay, the ones that hit pit road got in without any issues.
So 4 guys stayed out, and they are not really together. I mean, I guess they are, but they aren't. It's kind of 2 groups of 2 here. Got McDaniel and Grandpa Dakota Fishka. If I'm Greg McDaniel, I'm screaming. I said, Grandpa, we got a box this time. Box. And if not, I'm coming down pit road by myself and just hoping to rejoin here, because 2 cars, John, you do not want to get hung out here too long, man. Jerry Isaacs, this is the man who should inherit the lead here.
Wow, no takers from the leaders on pit road this time.
Tom Ogle, he is not going to be able to go up there and get any draft, I don't think. Not to stay with those front 4. But, man, John, that second group, they did do an excellent job. That gap is a heck of a lot closer than it was 4 or 5 laps ago.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Those front four, I can't believe they're still out there.
Oh, we got one that spun around. The 88 went around. Cora. Yeah, the 88 looked like when he exited pit road a second ago, he looked like he went around coming out of pit road.
Front four, stay out again here. And man, oh man, you boys better lock up. Bumper to bumper here. You want to make up some time. Let's just... So their last time around, Dakota Pishka's lap was a 51.15. Now, let me find Jerry Isaacs here. He ran a 50.37. So that's almost a full second here. This front four are losing. You're going to want to get that train into the station here pretty soon. Unless Tom Ogle, well, I mean, that's probably the man you want lead that train. You've got Gavin Adams behind him. But unless Tom can get there, it is basically a three-car race to the finish line. I mean, the 77 of Roger Hurley, he's been a lap down the whole race, fishing for that lucky dog. He's up there with the lead back, but we're watching him. Unless Gavin can just absolutely push his tail off, I don't know if he's going to get there.
Yeah, they need the 00, the 56, the 05 to kind of join that. Those guys can do it, then they can get bumper to bumper. 59's part of that. They'll clutch those four pretty quick.
Yeah, I think MSC right now, he's got to lock in. He's got to get closer, and then the pressure's on that 56. He's got to get up there as well. Because right now, the gap's just too big, and I think, you know, not that I'm a mind reader here, but Foltz is all over the back of Lloyd Moore. I think they may sense that, and those two may try to get up with those two leading the way here, because you waste too much time, you're going to watch that gap get pretty big.
Yeah, the 05 has got to get to the 30s bumper. I know it seems like probably even from the car to him that he's on this bumper, but that's too big of a gap. And not only from the 05 to the 30, but also the 05 to the 56.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm looking at Gavin Adams right now. I mean, he is working. He is all over the back of the Tom, but there's just not much help there from behind. It's the overview there. That's the perfect view. Those front four locked in. Those guys look at the spaces. I mean, if they could just see the difference, they may think they're doing the same thing as those leaders, but it is two totally different pictures there, John.
Yep.
Interesting
to know. The third bunch now has a couple of fast cats up front of that too, with Hislop and Nelson. So we'll see if the third group can catch the second group and get one big group to try to catch the top one. But you know, Zach, 25 to go. Laps are winding down.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, obviously, longer lap times, closer to a minute 50 seconds, but you're running out of moves. Okay, I mean,
yeah.
Now, the front four finally coming down pit road here. Finally going to come down pit road, and we'll have to see how things start to cycle out. So the leaders look to be coming out of four. Isaac's rolling past the pit road entrance. You see those guys coming by right now, and it is without a question they are going to have a big gap between them and the guys who just came down pit road. And well, you know, you can kind of see there in that picture too. I didn't notice there. Good camera, Ryan. Well, now they're racing side by side behind. I was going to say maybe we're going to have a bigger front pack, but well, not now. Well, maybe they heard. Here we go. I just had to threaten them. They're going to get in line now, but they are pushing it. I don't know. Oh, and there we go. What did I tell you? Go back to that, Ryan. That was perfect. It made me look like I know what I'm talking about. Because those guys have linked up. Sean Foltz and Lloyd Moore have gotten to the back of Tom Ogle. I mean, if I can pick any four, John, I'm telling you, that's probably the four here I'd work together.
Yeah, those guys will have a easier time, I think, to get towards them. But Zach, I'm gonna fall back to time running out, because you're gonna have to take some big gaps out of that lead to get there. But not just to get there, but then to do something when you get there.
And I mean, really, right now where Gavin is, I mean, he's almost the sacrificial lamb too, because somebody's going to need to not worry about that temperature here. They want to try to get up there because time not in their favor. You see, we're rolling through the trioval. We're coming this time. There's 22 laps to go.
Yeah.
Up from another lap car here. I believe that's 17 of Larry Corey. Those guys, they'll hop it past him. And Larry hop in with the second group. He'd be a big help if he could lock into the second group here, John. I don't know if he's going to be able to.
Second group, those four are driven off from the 05, so that's a smaller group now too.
And if you remember,
the 05's splitting anyway, so now that is a true four-car group.
05 going to come down pit road, and that four-car group, as I was saying, when Ryan had brought up to us in the ears here, he was about a second and a half off Mr. Isaacs. All of a sudden, Tom Ogle and those guys, John, and it's continuing to grow at the moment. They're 4 seconds and counting back.
4 cars compared to how many are up in that top one? 6 or so? Yeah, 5 or 6, up there. I think there's more than that actually. So, but it's like 7 cars, 8 cars up there. Yeah, they're just gonna go quicker.
Yeah, and what's kind of crazy is only 3 of those cars in the front pack are on the lead lap here. As he just got Isaacs, Kotska, and the Daytona 500 champion, Mark Fish. I mean, I don't know if we've had a wild card win in the playoffs yet, John, and that's been eliminated. If Mark could get it done here, I think this would be the first.
Yeah, and I think Ogle's pulling out to kind of, I think, probably give the 30 a breather. Probably getting hot. See, this is really smart if you're looking at that second group. Ogle's going to fall to the back and let 30 now, his motor cool down. If 30's going to pull for a little while, then I'm going to bet when this 00 gets hot, then fall back. If they can keep rotating like that, and look at Ogle drive right back up to the 59. That is really smart.
They're going to have to be quick about it, though. The gap has grown to 6 seconds here. And, well, John, with 19 laps to go, you got to make up a lot of time. I mean, that's a lot of math. I can't handle that. And, oh, boy, now we're rubbing.
That was an aggressive move. It shows you the sense of urgency ramping up.
Yeah, right now, I mean, track position, I guess.
And now Adams is going to lose. I guess, no, he's going to be able to suck back up to the 11.
Never really realized in all that. I guess Gavin, at some point in time, maybe got off the pit schedule there. He is a lap down.
And that would probably be why that move. Hey, it's time to go.
All over the tail end of the 00 here. We'll have to see if they get back together this lap, if they do indeed make up time. I mean, if Quickland, Lloyd are 6 3/4 seconds off the mark, so they got to go.
4 cars just, I don't think can do it.
Obviously, as we look at this front group here, John, we haven't seen it happen yet, but does Roger Hurley maybe get Gavin Adams here by or by the 42 of Mark Fish here. It says, "Hey, I'm in third. Let me get up here."
I don't know. Somewhere along the lines, you know, it might be last lap or whatever, but if Fish wants to win this, yeah, he's gonna have to pull out. He can't wait till. I don't think you can get from where he is to where Isaacs is on the last lap. And chances are that'll be complicated because Koska's probably gonna want to go around Fish too to punch his ticket into the final.
Yeah, that's Koska. I mean, you know, a good point night here. P2, he would take that, but like you said, the win. I mean, when you're in those two guys, I expect the front two to be absolute gloves off here coming to the line, and I guess that's expecting a little bit out of Koska, John, because I mean that guy, he's been nothing short of a gentleman all season.
Yeah, good racecraft, solid decisions behind the wheel. I'm sure he'll go for the win, but I don't think he'll do it, you know, to a point, put himself in a bad enough spot where he could wreck it, you know. Or wreck somebody else for that matter. You got a big group back together up front there, nose to tail. MSC after that pit stop was able to link up with Victor Lane, and they were able to pull back up. So now that group is, you know, 9-10 cars strong. That's going to make it real hard for that 4-car train to catch them.
Yeah, I'll be the bearer of bad news, I think, John. That 4-car pack, they aren't going to catch them. Not unless we get a late race caution here. And
now you got the third pack, though. I'll tell you this: you do got the third pack catching the second pack.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's not what the front pack wants to hear, John, because I don't think even if they get together, the front pack isn't in jeopardy of being caught here.
No.
I do think if that third and second pack join up, you know, probability for a caution.
Caution! We got a wreck on the backstretch.
Oh my! Right as I say, probability for a caution, we
Todd
start wrecking.
Cousins, I think. Or no, Lloyd Moore went around. Sorry, Todd. Same colors on the car. They went by in such a blur. I saw the 0. Thought it might have been 102. What on earth happened? Boy, that is a weird... That's got to be a push gone wrong, judging by where he's sitting. Oh, yeah. Foltz pushes him on the left side or the right side of the car, and...
I mean, yeah, they're you know, he fought to get out front. They're pushing. They're trying to do what they can. And, well, you know, John, I hate to even bring this up, okay? I mean, obviously the caution going to tighten the field up. Sean Foltz. Oh, okay, never mind. Sean Foltz, he's already in with a win. But I was going to say he's going to be in the penalty box next week, and he's lucky he's already won because you're going to have to come from the back at Martinsville.
Yeah, at Martinsville, no less.
Oh man! So now he's just got to heed my advice. I went back and listened to our interview with this morning when I was writing the thing up, and I told him in the interview, I said, "Don't you walk out of Martinsville with a penalty." So he better heed the advice. And is there anybody, John? I wouldn't think. You know, why come down pit road? Really, no benefit. I think you need track position. Right? Oh, and wait,
not unless you're towards the back.
Hurley's finally back on the lead lap. I forgot all about it. Roger Hurley is finally back on the lead lap. He has run with the lead pack all night. I mean, look at him. He's on the outside. He's waiting. He said, come on, wave me around, wave me around. I mean, he is ready to go. That's 77. I mean, it's not often you see that kind of perseverance pay off here, restricted plate racing. It's so hard to get back on the lead lap.
No, and I'll tell you, with a caution this late in the race, Hurley, you know, he's on the lead lap. Martindale, or not lead lap, but 1 lap down. Martindale, 1 lap down. Child, 1 lap down. There's a bunch of cars 1 lap down. Zach, I mean, I think that while these guys always race respectful, but you know here in a minute when they drop the green to go back racing, they're going to be racing really hard. We may not have seen the last caution yet.
No, especially, I mean, we should have... The lights are still on right now, so we'll have 11 to go. I think when we drop the hammer and go back. You know, I mean, not that I want them to do it, but I mean, if they're taking bets right now for another caution, I mean, count me in. I'll put it on another caution. I don't think they're done.
Well, why don't we pull up the Daytona winner, Mark Fish, there in third, because I think he's got the most interesting choice of the top three. Because Koska can just stay to his bumper and pull out, but Fish, he's going to have a decision to make.
Yeah, do it here. I'll grab him for Ryan. You send him back. Mark, Shaggy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey, yep, I got a copy.
Well, hey, I mean, you know, anytime you're on a restrictor plate track, you somehow manage to find your way up towards the front, and you got yourself a prime seat here. I know we probably wanted this thing to stay green, but right now, I mean, you got to like your chances, right, Mark?
I do. It's all about pitting here, and we had some solid pit stops tonight, and that's how I got up here.
Mark, I tell you, coming down here, I think you're going to have the toughest decision of everybody in front of you. Because, you know, if you're Jerry, you're going to stay on that yellow line. Koska's probably going to have to probably going to pull out, but the question's going to be when he does it. Are you going to wait till the last lap to try to get around both of those guys, or do you think you got to do it a little bit earlier than that last lap?
I'm going to have to wing it and see how this goes. I may try to get in line with them, and it's going to happen on the last turn, coming to the checker to see what we're going to do.
I'll 10-4. Best of luck to you, man.
Thanks, guys. Great podcast.
Mark, so it is going to happen, though. You want to win this thing. We're not pushing anybody to a win.
All right, guys. Thank you. Cheer me on here.
All right, okay. I couldn't get a definitive one out of but I did like the way that sounded, John. It sounded like he's going for it.
Well, he needs to, but he's got to need help. He can't just pull out and drive around both of them. He's got to need somebody like the 11, maybe the 92, that's going to say, look, I'm not content finishing, fifth. Maybe I want to get up and have a shot at this too. He's going to need somebody to go with him.
And how excited is Tom Ogle now too? He has been stuck in the second pack here pretty much all day, and now
Christmas came early for Ogle and for Nelson too.
Up there on the outside. And this could be quite the race here. And we do have some, names that we're not so used to seeing. From being truthful, how neat would it be to see Bill Martin park this thing in victory lane? That Dive Mountain Dew machine right there. He's going to line up on the inside of row 4. John, even if you're lined up at the tail end, if you're Roger Hurley right now, you can still win this thing.
Yeah, everybody has still got a shot that's on the lead lap here so much. So, like I said, we're gonna be interested to see. We're gonna get the green here and 10 to go. I'd definitely be pulling those belt straps pretty tight right now and taking a deep breath, because you're probably not gonna breathe you're gonna breathe intermittently for probably the next 4 or 5 minutes.
And we're down to the time where, if you have one mistake, if you bobble, if you leave it open, expect that guy behind you to go 3 wide. You've really got to drive just as aggressive as you do defensive, John. You got to be looking in that mirror too.
Yeah, that's a big thing here. If you're gonna make a move, you better have a dancing partner.
Watch the pace car dive off here as the boys roll past pit road entrance. Jerry Isaacs. He didn't want to have to do this again, but we're about to. He's going to drop the hammer as we enter the Geico restart zone, and we are back underway. 11 laps to play at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Real quick, Zach, that caution also let everybody's engines cool. So if you're going to get up behind someone and commit to them here within a lap or two, you could probably run that sucker out right on them.
Well, you didn't have to tell Courtney Nelson that twice. He is all over the back of Tom Ogle here. He's going to need some help, though. That Piggly Wiggly machine trying to close the gap, inch a little closer. But right now, man, that outside line, it is stuck in the mud.
It is, because the first 5 cars are very well organized right up on each other. Caution.
Oh, yes, we do. We've got one in the back couldn't tell who it was there. Sean Foltz involved as well in the 59. We got the 88 of Hammond. I think it started with Hammond. Foltz just picks up some scraps there.
Yeah, actually, Lloyd Moore looks like he tries to make a lane change and it's just barely not clear and goes around and put Hammond into the wall and a couple other guys. Foltz came in and T-boned Hammond pretty good.
Yeah, Foltz definitely got a nice lick of that, and man,
But he's in.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
That's his first thought. That's probably his first thought. Thank God.
And now, I mean, I think John, if the lead guys, I mean the front three who had kind of walked away with this thing, if we were gonna have one caution, I think they're probably on board for this one here. The less amount of green flag laps, the better for those guys up front. I think if the field's going to be tight. So, they may not even mind one more quick caution here, to be honest.
Well, the big thing is, too, like I said, if you're going to commit to somebody and say, okay, I'm running back here 4th or 5th, I'm going to have to, so one of these guys are going to have to go, and then I'm going to have to make a decision of who I want to push. Once you make that decision of who you want to push, boy, you can commit to them. You can get right on that bumper and not let go and not have to worry about blowing up. You can just get on and really get aggressive with that. And, and if it all works out, then maybe you're sitting there on the last lap, sitting 2nd or 3rd, and then you got another decision to make. Do you dance with the one that brought you, or you go try to win this sucker? So, yeah, I cannot wait to see how this plays out.
Should, I think, let's see here. If the lights stay on, I think we'll go around one more time. Maybe one more person up.
And I mean, I guess now would be a good time to remind everybody here where the start-finish line is. The pace car is getting ready to, and it's not in the tri-oval like your traditional tracks. It's all the way down. You got a long way to go here. So that last lap coming off of turn 4, you've got a long way to the flag stand.
Well, I'll pull, let's see. Brian, you can send him back when it's time. I'll go ahead. I'll pull down this man. Roger, Shaggy in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Shaky. Go ahead, over.
I'll tell you what, Roger. I mean, you're running around. You get stuck a lap down early, but, dude, you are the little engine that could. I mean, you just never gave up. You plugged away. How excited are you, man? You can go up here and win this thing.
Pretty fortunate. It's a long way to the front yet, but I didn't think the caution was going to come. It just hung in there, right?
Roger, you talk about a long way to the front, but you know what? That's you could be one incident away from leading this thing. So, but having said that, what are you looking out the front window, and what's the game plan being back here? Are you just going to try to get what you can get, or is there somebody you want to link up and help? I mean, what are your plans here?
Well, just whoever I can. Really, it's a free for all. You know how it works at this point, right? So I'll just see what happens. And I was a lot further back than I was, so we'll see what happens.
Well, 10-4, best of luck here to you, and good luck here to the finish.
Thanks, guys.
Roger Hurley in the 77. Zach, he's got a lot of cars, but like I said, you know what? That's one incident from being in the lead. I mean, in all honesty, here at this place.
Yeah, I mean, literally anything could happen. We know. I mean, I'm not rooting for it by any means, but we haven't even seen the big one. We haven't really seen anybody up front try to make a move yet and pay for it. It's kind of happened in the middle back part of the pack. So I mean, it's still brewing, and really, don't be surprised here. We'll get the green flag with 7 laps to go. I mean, John, we may see the yellow flag one more time here.
Yeah, here's the big difference between now and the last time we started, though, is, there's less laps. So you almost heard it in Roger's voice when he was talking, man, I'm a long way back here. So, the guys that want to try to make up a lot of spots, around 10th to see if they can get up to a top 5, that kind of stuff. Now you're looking at, okay, I want to bring it. You have one accident already. You already know you've come this far. Now there's got to be some thought to I just need to finish. I need to get a good finish here with guys in the top 10, especially those guys in the top 10, top 5 that have that pink spoiler.
There are a couple of them right now. I mean, I'm looking at 4 inside of, I guess 3 inside of the top 4.
Yeah, Isaacs, Hislop, and Ogle are all up there. And Ogle is running 8th. Oh, and Koska. Yep, Koska's up there. Yep.
And it's been, I mean, obviously, you don't want to complicate it for the other drivers around you, but we haven't mentioned Daniel and his blinking in a while. He's sitting right outside of the top 10. I mean, he's there. He's prime, ready to go. I think the internet connections have settled down a little bit. And hopefully, I mean, we've got the bugs ready. That 7, he could be in contention for a win here.
Yeah, as of right now, it's stable, so, stand on it.
Get ready to watch this pace car dive off here after we roll down the front stretch here at the Talladega Superspeedway, and that 51 drops the hammer. We will have 7 laps to play. That's too much math for me, but about 24 and a half miles left to go here in Talladega. Roll through the pack, tri-oval. Kotska about a half a car length back here, starting to reel it back in. 51 drops the hammer. We're back underway. Mark Fish, he's to the inside of Kotska here, but the 51 goes up, and I think he knows. That's been my dance partner here all night. I gotta keep Kotska happy.
Big gap between Mark Fish and Bill Martin. Those guys jumped up there, and that top line's gonna have a good run coming out of 4 or out of 2 here.
And I think that gave Mark a real understanding of where he ranks, amongst those 2 up front. So he's going to have to figure something else out here. And the perfect partner may be that 18 machine behind him. We have not seen Bill Martin running up this high towards the end of an event in quite some time. And, man, that Diet Mountain Dew machine, he's here to play.
He is, and now, from 3rd on back on the bottom here, where Fish is, you're stuck down there. You can't get up to the top. The top and the bottom are almost a dead heat coming across the start-finish line here. Boy, you got some players in that top line, too.
Yeah, Hislop made the jump to the outside, and Chris Bates absolutely plugging away here. Bates, you couldn't fit a credit card in there. He gets right back to the rear bumper, shoves him, but here comes Kotska, the inside, fighting back. But now we got
Daniel
3
Hill's
cars.
in here too.
Yeah, we had 3 cars in a line. Ogle went up there and pounded Chris Bates. He's going to bump him again here. They are ready to go. Don't put that yellow flag down just yet, flag man.
And these guys are white knuckling it too on the steering wheel. And like I said, breathing intermittently, sorry, but holy cow, this is intense, Zach.
And I think Tom Ogle, it looked like he was maybe trying to egg Bates into going to the outside, making it 3 wide. Ogle knows probably not going to be able to win here from the last lap. He's going to need to get 2nd in line or definitely have a helper behind. And we see Daniel Hill disappear there for a second. Ah, man, the Gremlins are back there for the Black Cat. Side by side as we enter 3. I mean, what more could you ask for? Oh, the inside line checking up there. Good job by those back 3 drivers there. And now that may have just been the recipe that the high line ordered. Oh, no, they get out of line. They're 3 wide.
Went out. He's going to get shuffled out.
That pink spoiler getting shuffled back 3 spots, able to fall in line behind the Black Cat. But, John, 4 laps to go, man. You've got to make your move here soon.
Yeah, you got to get going here. And I'm going to tell you right now, the bottom line, I don't know what happened here other than when Ogle got out. When Ogle got out of line, it killed that top line. Courtney Nelson's not going to get up there and try to lead that top line.
And the last thing Hislop wants to do is get stuck behind that 78. He's got that pink spoiler. He wants to lock himself into the show. Here goes Greg McDaniel. The Cartoon Network machine shuffles to the outside as we roll through the trial. We've got 3 laps to go. They're going to hang Greg McDaniel in the middle. Here comes the 78 high, wide, and handsome.
Yeah, those guys are really leaning on each other. We'll see if the 11 can get up there, join the party. Oh, no. 7 just went down to the bottom, hung the top 2 out in that line.
And Chris Bates just brushed the outside wall in the back. He's not going to lose the draft, but he's shuffling out and out of the outside. And man, oh man, if you want to go, I mean, it's all gas, no brakes from here. You can't lift. If a guy's in your way, well, sorry here, John.
Yeah, this is to the point where lifting's for losers. You've got to keep your foot in it. And that will create some really hairy spots here. We've got to come here to 2 to go.
5 miles to play here at Talladega when the 51 crosses the line this time. And all of a sudden, is that Fred Wolford III, Lightning McQueen on the outside?
Wow.
Where did Fred Wolford come from? Started 15th up the 5th, leading the high side. Lightning McQueen, can he get the victory lane here? He's got plenty of help, John.
Yeah, right now, Bill Martin or Mark Fish need to make a decision if they're going to pull out and pick up that outside line, because that outside line's moving right now.
If I'm that Diet Mountain Dew machine, I'm swinging out to the right. You're exactly right. We're getting up in the high side.
Too late for him. Well, now he's back out there. Yeah, I would go out there and pick him up if I was Bill.
Well, pick your poison here. Oh, we're touching through the tri-oval, but they hang on to it. White flag waves. We're going to get one more flag here. Checkers or wreckers, John? Fred Wolford III getting bounced around there by the 78 and Nelson. They are trying to will that outside line, but I just don't know if they'll have enough. Bottom 4 continue to stay in line here, John. Does Fish, do they make their move?
Outside line's done for. They just jumped out, made it 3 wide.
Daniel Hill, the black cat, where did he come from? He was blinking. No, he's not. Inside the top 5 as the top 4 stay single file. Bill Martin looks to the outside.
He made that move too late.
Glued on the bottom, and it looks like 1-2. You said it, John. Jerry Isaacs, he needed this. 22 points down. Brings home the checkered flag, and they're wrecking here going into turn 1. The guys in the back. Kotska P2 and Mark Fish, man, stays on the bottom. I thought he'd go up top with Bill and go for it. But what a podium there, John.
Huh. Man, old Jerry, man. You know, the one guy that's been the most consistent probably all year is Jerry. He's somehow, you know, at the end of these things, you know, we see him with pit strategy, always seems to be hanging around the top 5. How cool is that to see him finally get the victory lane?
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you said it. He's so consistent. I mean, he's made the playoffs, as you heard John say, first time to victory lane. I mean, he made the playoffs just off sheer consistent finishes, made it through 2 rounds that way, and now when he really needed
for a championship.
Yep. I mean, the bell was ringing. He was running out of time. He was 20 points back. And boy, oh boy, he answered in a big way. The 51 brings home the checkered flag. But they're going to drive away. They're going to let him celebrate a little bit. 51 earned this one. We're going to step away for a minute or 2, catch our breath while the drivers catch theirs. We'll be back with a full rundown and interviews from your top 3 here on the Virtual Grip Network. We are back live on the Virtual Grip Network after 100 hard-fought laps here at the Talladega Superspeedway, where none other than Mr. Consistency, the 51 of Jerry Isaac, brought home the checkered flag, as you mentioned, John, for the first time this season. I mean, he's got to be feeling so much emotion right now.
I would imagine so. That's and he's such a good guy to boot too. So I mean, it's hard. You know, we're not supposed to, you know, root for anybody, but you know, now that's all said and done, man, I was really rooting for him those last 3 laps. I'm so happy for him to be able to get in there, just because of the season that he's had, the effort that he's had, and you know, just some breaks didn't fall his way through the year. Finally, to put it all together, and it couldn't have come at a more important time in the season for him. He gets to go to Martinsville, not worry about anything, and he's going to go race for a championship the week after.
Let's go ahead. Let's pull up the final list of results there. You heard us say, Jerry Isaac, your big winner here tonight. Big part of that win was the 40 of Andrew Kotska. Those two were glued together, I believe, from the start of the race. I mean, you found one, you found the other one. They worked together. 1-2 finish for them. Mark Fish, the Daytona 500 winner, back on the podium, rounds it out there with third. Jeff Lydon coming home fourth. Bill Martin rounds out the top 5. The Black Cat, after, well, some engine troubles, aka internet issues, able to bring home 6th. That is huge for the Black Cat. Robert Gorisco 7th. Dale Copeland 8th. Fred Wolford 9th. And Tom Ogle tried to get it done on the outside, got hung out. He moved back to 10th. And well, John, I'll give you 11th here, but Tom, that could have some big points implications going into Martin.
Yeah, 100%. And coming home 11th is Kevin Kevin Mosier, and Greg McDaniel 12th, Alan Wanamaker 13th, Lloyd Moore 14th. Courtney Nelson comes home 15th. Chris Bates 16th. James Hislop comes home 17th. Scott Negus 18th. Michael Dow 19th. Roger Hurley, who, hell, interesting night, he comes home 20th.
Dakota Pishka, he's going to come home 21st. Patrick Martindale 22nd. Larry Corey 23rd. Gavin Adams 24th. Orange Childs 25th. Tom Embassy 26th. The GOAT Clay Walker 27th. The Boss Man Victor Lane 28th. Todd Cousins 29th. And Sean Foltz, not a care in the world, he won last week, coming home 30th.
31st is going to be Greg Hammond. After him will be Nick Self. 33rd will be Luke Lane. Lonnie Corey will be 34th. And man, the hard luck award tonight's got to go to the 35th place finisher. That's Dwayne MacArthur. And then rounding out your field is going to be Bert Dotson.
Well, let's go ahead. I mean, it's been a while. Oh, I shouldn't say it's been a while. I mean, we talked to Mark Fish during the race, but it's been a while since we've talked to him post-race. Mark, Shaggy in the booth, you got a copy? You are muted right now, by the way. Oh, Mark, now. Oh, I saw him unmute. Maybe Mark's back. Shaggy in the booth, you got a copy? Oh, all right. No, Mark Fish. No problem. We'll go ahead. We'll give John his moment in the sun here. John, who you got?
Well, I've got the second place finisher, Andrew Koska. And Andrew, the first question I've got for you is, boy, you were committed to that 51. Did you have any thought of pulling out and trying to make it 2 wide there, maybe even 3 wide with that outside groove there?
I mean, I thought about it a couple times, but before the race, I mean, Jerry and I are teammates here, so I told Jerry I was going to stick to his bumper as long as I could, and unless he made some kind of mistake on pit road, I was committed to him here in this race. Just wanted to make sure I can get a teammate there into the championship 4.
Well, hey, both of you guys are sitting in a good spot there to actually kind of do that here. You know, the interesting race, like I said, you guys did, like you said, you guys stayed committed and it worked out. Pit stops here just real quick, because to me that was really the story of the first part of the race. You guys got a monster lead with like 4 or 5 of you guys with a couple lap cars. How aware were you of that lead when you guys were out there?
we were actually staring at the relative the entire time, kind of seeing what we were doing to see how much we had to push, how much we could kind of stay in line. So yeah, we were very, we knew exactly what was going on behind us, and we just wanted to stay in line and hope that a yellow didn't fly. And unfortunately it did, but I'm sure it made it much more exciting there at the end on the broadcast.
Yeah, it most certainly did. Well, now I want to look forward to next week here. And you know what? You are a really good road racer, and we're going to Martinsville. I know it's not a road course, but a lot of the things you do with your inputs, with your feet, your hands, all that kind of stuff, this is a really good track for you, I have to suspect, right?
Yeah, Martinsville is definitely one of my favorite tracks on the sim. I know we got a bunch of guys that are really good at Martinsville, like Tom Ogle and Dan Hill. So it's going to be a tough battle next week, especially with those guys. And I know there's a few others. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, just got to keep running up front next week and try to lock myself in either on points or with a win. I got room for basically one other guy to win to try to make it in on points right now.
Well, I wish you the best of luck next week, Andrew, and it's been great to watch you all season here. So best of luck, and anybody want to give a quick shout out to before I let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, John. Yeah, shout out to you guys here in the booth. Like, you guys have done an amazing job in this entire season, especially with your other broadcasts throughout the week, your podcasts and all that stuff. Great job. Shout out to the entire OBRL admin team and racers here. Such a great group of racers. You could see it out there, how clean this race ran. Just those 2 cautions that we had here tonight. Absolutely amazing for a 100-lap race. And shout out to all family and friends out there watching on YouTube world.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, best of luck, and we'll see you next week there from the Paperclip.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
Yep, that's Andrew Costa, our runner-up here tonight, and let's see if we can get Mark back up here, huh?
Yeah, let's go for it. Mark, we got the bugs worked out. Shaggy in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm so new to this. I'm never up here, so it's great to be in the booth again.
You and me both, brother. Well, I tried to coax you into it, that mid-race interview. Wanted you to get to the outside, but when push came to shove, they're coming to the line. You stayed on the bottom. Were you just content bringing home third, gonna let those guys point racing, kind of duke it out up front?
Yeah, I remember racing with them at Daytona. They helped me out there, and I figured I'd pay it forward in this race and just stay behind. I felt like if I went to the high line, that was not the move to make, and I probably would have went backwards. I saw that line just was not moving as fast as it normally does.
No, and Mark, I know it's so easy to downplay, man, how, people try to say it's easy when you go to Talladega or Daytona, and in reality, it's not. You got to read the rhythm, and you just mentioned there how you saw the high line coming. You're one of those guys every single time. You maneuver your way up inside that top 10, top 5 when we're restrictor plate racing. What is it about, the ebbs and flows of the draft that, you really like? What makes that 42 machine tick on these kind of tracks?
I'm not so sure it's like me being a good drafter as so much as we had really solid pit stops. And if you're pitting with a group of guys that you can trust, and I pitted with Jerry and Koska, and when they went in and I came out with them both times, I had a solid pit stop, no speeding, no mistakes. I stayed at that speed and I came out with them. And I really think that's what's key, especially if it goes green. If you could get a solid pit, you're in good shape.
Well, Mark, you were able to do that. Absolutely nailed it on all accounts. You were up even at the front if we didn't get that late race caution, which I'm sure you didn't want. But at the end of the day, you bring home the P3. Hell of a job, Mark. You got anything you want to thank?
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'd like to thank all my teammates, which is pretty much everybody in OBRL at this point. And I'd like to thank you guys. You guys do a fantastic job. Victor Lane, Ray MacArthur for keeping this place open, and all the other admins that do a great job here in OBRL to keep this place up and running.
Hey, hell of a run, Mark. Good luck when we roll into the Paperclip next week. See you at Martinsville.
All right, thanks, guys.
Mark Fish bringing home P3. Now we'll go ahead. We made him wait long enough, right? I think. Mr. Jerry Isaacs, you are running for a championship. You're one of the best 4 drivers in this league, man. How does that feel to hear, brother?
Pretty damn good, considering I had to win my way in from points after a bad last week. Holy cow.
Yeah, and, obviously you're in the car. You didn't hear that, man, but I said that in my intro. You were 22 points down, and you absolutely needed something to go. I mean, it's one thing to know you got to do it. And I mean, hell, you know as well as I do, it's another thing to go out there and do it. How stressful was it having to nail 2 green flag pit stops tonight?
You know, it's funny. The first one wasn't stressful at all because, I mean, it was so early in the race. I wasn't really thinking about it. But that second one was very stressful. And honestly, the first one, I was like, okay, I've been burning all my fuel up front. I'm going to come out in 4th, 5th, something like that. And I did know, I don't know if you saw the lockup on entry. I knew I had to get in fast to try to make up for the extra fuel. But the first one, really, it wasn't that bad. But the second one was really nervous. And then those restarts just, oh my God, I kind of, when that first caution came out, just kind of, my heart dropped.
That's what I was going to say. That first caution, you know, that had to be the real heartbreak. But honestly, when you have that quick second caution after, does that give you a little bit of time to realize, hey, you know, I'm only going to have to hold this thing off for maybe 6 or 7 more laps? I mean, did that help you, you know, kind of bring it back down a little bit?
100%. You know, I mean, as long as it was kind of myself and Andrew and Mark out there up front, that if we had another caution, it wouldn't bother me because it takes a while for that other line to get a run. So the shorter run we have, then I think it's more to the advantage of the guy out front.
Well, Jerry, I mean, I started you off with that. I mean, who cares what happens at the paperclip next week, brother? You are racing for a championship, and I can't wait to see you go out there and duke it out, man, because though this may be the first win of the season, you know as well as we do up here, man, this was a long time coming. We've had some amazing runs this season, and it's about time you finally put it together. Congratulations on the big win, Jerry.
Well, thank you, man. I am truly excited, but I mean, really, Andrew Kotzka, I owe it all to him. He's the best pusher on iRacing, and frankly, probably one of the most selfless teammates you'll ever find. I mean, he's got to make it to the championship race too, but he was willing to. He knew I had to have the win, and he was willing to push me to the championship round and take his chances on points.
Well, hey, you know, he knows as well as you do, man. What goes around comes around. If you're in the spot, you know you'll give it back to him next week, Jerry. Congratulations on the big win. And like I say, I mean, obviously, we'll see you. You take it easy next week, man. Put the feet up.
Actually, I really, really enjoy the paperclip Martinsville. I'm hoping if I can just qualify good enough to be, you know, in front of all the stuff that goes on. I don't know. I might be able to get a podium out of it.
Hey, Mr. Momentum, that's real, man. Keep it with you when we roll into the final race. Good luck the rest of the way, Jerry.
Thank you.
And man, John, you know, there aren't many guys that I truthfully, like, you know, you can hear it. You could hear that in his voice, man. He's pumped up.
Well, yeah, he should be. And these things with this group, none of these races are easy to win. And it's an accomplishment to just get one. So congratulations to him. And I don't know if he's ecstatic or if it's just a sigh of relief now that he gets to go to the big dance in Phoenix in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and man, you know, I mean, not that he wished it on him, but well, Ryan, while I'm saying this, you can pull up what's coming up next. But man, the pressure is on John for the general, Dwayne MacArthur. Yeah. I mean, this is
well, not just him, a couple, 3 guys there.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, really, that man, the names that are fighting over those final 2 spots. But you know, we'll get to see that all as you see there next Sunday at the Martinsville Speedway. But got a couple things coming up before that. Statistically speaking, what are we talking about there, boys?
Well, that one actually is going to be the following Tuesday. This week we actually talked to the Thursday night SK Modified winner, Eric Stout, won a championship there with Red Light Racing. So we actually had a long conversation with him. Statistically speaking, that'll be the week after. And we're going to talk about league and, you know, how the adminning side of things a little bit.
Well, Ryan's got an easier job next week. Leave that one the same. The Martinsville Speedway. I normally do that with the YesterYear mods, but I'll be gone. Soup filling in with JR. That should be a good one. Okay, I normally don't stop, but John, I'm actually perplexed. What is the bull ring at Las Vegas? Why have I never heard of it?
It's a nice little quarter mile right off the big track there where the cup cars go to, but it is actually I'm telling you, I don't run a whole lot of those BRL deals these days, but I'm probably going to show up and run that one. That track is just a lot of fun. That is a good old, I mean, it's a bull ring. That's the best way to describe it.
I really, Ryan said seriously. Yeah, I'm serious. I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to look into that, maybe check that track out. But next week, you know the deal. We talked about it. Final race before we roll into the championship. I mean, be there or be square, as they say. There's no other place to be next Sunday, October 26th at 8 a.m. But for now, or I said a.m. We all
You'll
know
be here by yourself.
Yeah, I guess I will be here by myself. Well, hey, with that, we're going to wrap it up here for the OBRL YesterYear Racing Cup Series. I'd like to thank my partner, John Hine, the clock, the man who knows AM from PM, the dude in the back, Ryan Seneker, and last but not least, we at the Virtual Grip Network want to thank all of you for tuning in. Have a great night.